Hey everybody, it's Tom, and here I am today with another relay. Yesterday talked a bit about the problems of the digital in how to submit something for digital process or treatment or relay or understanding or presentation. It's necessary to destructure it, as it were, so that it becomes amenable to binary construal, ones and zeros, whatnot. And the root of that process is a particular characterization of information. It's fundamental to how the digital universe operates. And I want to build upon that and began to look a little bit more closely into the notion of information. Today, in that specific way, jogged my memory, so on, and it has proven sufficiently complicated that I don't want to jump into it quite yet. To do so will be impetuous. I need to fill out my own understanding before I can, with confidence, say more on that matter than I already have. So said, I do want to say something, so I got to talk about something. And a conversation I had with a friend brought that to mind, and that is namely how problematic, however unavoidable it may be at this time, how problematic text communication actually is. And we're all, of course, familiar with the perils of ambiguity that attend that specific form of communication. In fact, there's a very fine skit a few years back by Key and Peele that throws that dilemma into relief. But one might ask in a deeper way, what is actually happening there? What is it about that form of communication which can be so problematic? On one level, you might suggest I'm making a mountain out of a molehill because all language is attended to by a degree of ambiguity. Still, one senses that something else is afoot in this case. And here it seems that it might be a veil of a veil to recall an essay. Then I've done some talks about this. If you go back on my channel, you can find them. The world is phantom and as matrix, in which it is proffered that even video communication itself throws us into a distorted relationship with the circumstances of presence and absence. Now, that essay was written to deal with radio and television broadcasts as opposed to text communication. But I wonder if that suggestion that we have this with these at distance communiques, especially text communiques, a compromise of how we actually present to other people. And most, in the real world, what happens when we are communicating with someone right in front of us is that our actual physical presence mediates a clarity that is both beneficial and exigent. In other words, we can't escape the implications of that clarity when we communicate to that person or those persons. When we are communicating with text, on the other hand, that mediation falls away or becomes dramatically, if not completely attenuated. And so the point of contact between you and that other person is almost severed, ironically enough. So that the world, which is being described implicitly by the text, and it may sound like world is a rather grandiose term to use in this case, but I'm sure you will take my meaning, especially in the kinds of texts which prove most perilous, which often occur in the space of an exchange. You are not just sending particular propositions, if you like, but in the course of sending those propositions, you're painting a picture. A picture which would be constrained if you were having that conversation with the person in front of you. But that world is unconstrained and unconnected to whatever world in which that person is living, and is a mutual circumstance, so that you can really be talking past each other in a way that almost outstrips what we encounter when we have that unpleasant experience in person. If this intuition is correct, I think that we can maybe sum it up more concisely and say that what's actually happening is that when we communicate blindly through the medium of text, what we're doing is we're actually feeding into the degree to which our society is one of atomic individuality. We are amplifying the extent to which we are disconnected from other people. And the fallout from that tendency can be quite severe. Happily, I think we're saved by the reality of our own corporeality. We can never completely escape into this virtual space, which ultimately subserves a sort of what's the word? It's escaping me. A sort of dramatic solipsism. It's a solipsism. It's a utopia for the solipsist, right? The thing that we are the entirety of the universe. Well, that sort of terrifying dream, which is unpalatable to me, nevertheless seems to be foisted upon us by these forms of interaction which seem to be so important at this time. So those are some thoughts for today on maybe what is happening at a deeper level with why text communications can be so challenging. They allow people really to escape the actual act of communication by creating a domain in which the interlocutors don't have to pay attention to each other's worlds, or to the fact that they ultimately inhabit a world commonly. And that dangerous possibility gives birth to just really lamentable misunderstanding. All right, well, so much for that for now. I thank you for listening, and hopefully I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.